Hey there, welcome to Yoga with Pat. We have a 20-minute chair practice for you today, chair yoga. So pull up a chair and let's get ready to move. So for today's practice, just a folding chair would work for this practice. You could use really any chair that you have in your house. I prefer a chair without arms. So if you have a chair that doesn't have any arms, maybe like your dining chair, and a chair where your feet can touch the floor comfortably would be nice. So let's scooch forward on our chair today. Just come so that you're seated onto the edge of your chair and both feet are firmly planted on the floor. And then let's begin our practice with a little opening meditation. So we'll take our hands, just place them gently on your lap. Palms can be facing up or down, whatever you're more comfortable with. And then close your eyes. Take a few deep breaths. In through the nose. And just for this first one, let's sigh out through the nose. Again, in through the nose. Big deep breath into the lungs, the belly. And then out through the nose. Let your shoulders relax. Let your shoulder blades move down the back. Both feet softly planted on the floor. Good. One more deep inhale. Inhale, expand through the ribs. Expand through the belly. Exhaling nice and long out through the nose. And blink your eyes open. Good. We're going to start with a few arm movements just to get some circulation flowing. So again, look at your feet. Your feet are both on the floor. Toes pointing forward. Make sure the toes aren't too turned out. Maybe knees relaxed outward. Or make sure your knees aren't also falling in. We want even though we're working the shoulders, we want the feet and the legs to be at attention. So then from here, knees pointing straight ahead. Grow a little bit taller through the belly, maybe gently lifting the ribs, coming out of your seat a little bit. And at the same time, relax through the shoulders. Bring your arms down by your sides. Then inhale, take your arms up overhead, reach towards the ceiling. Hands come together if they do, and then exhale, hands to heart center. Good. Again, inhale, take your arms up. If they have to come a little bit forward, that's okay. Exhale, separate the arms. Good. Palms are facing inward here. And then as you inhale again, turn the palms away from you as you rise. And then exhale, hands to heart center. Good. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands separate and come back down to the sides. Good. Inhale, bring your arms up. Turn the palms towards the ceiling or the sky. Look up as you reach. And then exhale, hands to heart center. One more time. Inhale, arms up, reaching. Exhale, hands separate, and they come back down to the sides. Leave your hand here. We're going to take our right hand and we're going to just grip the side of your chair. And then your left hand, that hand, thumb pointing up, is going to come up in front of you. So you're reaching forward. Keep reaching forward. Feel that shoulder blade wrap around the side of your ribs there. And then continue going on up until your fingertips are pointing up towards the ceiling. Good. And then from here, bend your right elbow. Begin to lean over to the left side. But here, make sure both feet stay planted. Your left hip is also going to stay on the chair. So don't let that left hip come up. We're just doing a true side bend here. So just go until where you stop. Feel that stretch in the ribs. Doesn't matter how far you go. As long as you're feeling that stretch in the left side of the ribs, you're doing a side bend. Take a deep breath here. Expand through the ribs. And then exhale as you let the ribs contract again. Good. Inhale. Feel that stretch through that left side of the rib cage. And then exhale through the nose. One more time. Inhale. Reaching. Good. Exhale back to center. So that left hand's going to come back down by your sides. We're going to do, just to kind of bring everything back to center, we're going to do that arm movement with the breath again. So inhale, begin to bring your arms up. Good. And then turn your palms up. Bring the palms towards each other. Look up towards the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good. Again, to reset. Inhale. Reach the arms up. Exhale, hands to your sides. And now we're going to leave that left hand down. That right hand is going to come in front of us. We're going to reach with the right hand. So reach like there's just something just beyond your grasp, right? Like it could be like a slice of pizza or I don't know, a dollar bill. Reach with the hand. Good. And then continue taking that hand up towards the sky. Nice. Then from here, we're going to bend that left elbow, left side. We're going to bend the left elbow, bend over to the left side, but that right hip stays on the chair. That right foot also stays firmly planted on the chair. Nice. From here, turn your chest up a little bit. Feel that stretch through the right ribs. Maybe you look up slightly, if that's okay for your balance. Okay to look down as well. And then breathe into those ribs. Feeling the stretch. Feel free to look down at your mat or at the floor at a fixed point if this is throwing your balance off. Good, and now we'll come back to center. Hands both by our sides, again to reset. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good, again, inhale, reach, reach, reach. Exhale, hands to the sides. Bring your palms onto your thighs this time. So both palms on the thighs, we're gonna lean forward. Lift your chest a little bit, kind of almost hollowing out your belly, and bring your shoulder blades down the back and together as you lean forward. Good, and then inhale, look up, keep pulling your shoulder blades down, keep broadening the chest and through the collarbone. And then exhale, come back to sitting upright. From here, we're going to inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Now bring both of your thumbs to your sternum. So your thumbs are going to be pressing up against your sternum, but your sternum's also going to be pressing into the thumbs. At the same time, we're still lifting out of the seat. So there's a lot of sensation of space in the lower back and in the belly, right? We're bringing space and separation between the bottom of the rib cage and the top of the hip points. Then from here, as you exhale, we're going to turn to the right. Good, so just go to where you stop. Take another breath here. Take a deep inhale, remembering to lift the chest, to grow taller. And then again, exhale. Maybe we twist a little bit more. But we want to hold it right here. So continue to breathe. And then hold that twist. So right now, we're using our core muscles to keep us in this twist. Both feet are planted on the ground firmly, kind of providing a counter for the twist that we're doing. Good, another breath. And then take your left hand to the outside of your right thigh. Take your right arm behind you. So you might hold on to the side of the chair. You might hold onto the back of the chair if you have that range. And then again, another deep breath as we remember to be tall. And then exhale. Now we can use the chair and use our hand as leverage to add a little bit of stretch to the twist. But again, don't use that to crank on yourself. We're just using it as a base support so we can get a little bit more stretch out of the pose. Good. Feel free to take your chin in the same direction as your twist, kind of bringing that full spinal rotation. Another breath. And then undo it. So unwinding, we come back to center. I always like to reset ourselves before we do the other side. So again, inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good. Again, inhale, reaching with the arms. Exhale, hands to the sides. One more time. Inhale, reach. Exhale, hands to heart center. And then from here, we're going to keep our hands against our sternum, keep our thumb pressing into that center point in the chest so that we can counter that by pressing our chest against the thumbs and lifting up towards the ceiling. Good. Keep your chin a little bit tucked so that lift's not coming from the neck, it's coming from the chest. And then from here, we're going to turn to the left. So take a deep inhale, remembering to be tall, and then exhale as you turn to the left. Good. Both feet stay planted. We're going to hold it for a few breaths. So just take a deep inhale, remembering to be tall. Exhale, using those muscles in your side core, right? And your side muscles are really muscles that wrap around your entire core to facilitate that turn. Good. And then from here, we're going to take our right hand to the outside of the left knee. Left hand provides a little bit of leverage here, holding on to either the back seat of the chair or the side here of the chair. And we're going to continue to remember to lift the chest as we turn. Take another breath, maybe taking your chin towards that left shoulder. And then back to center. Good. From here, inhale, reach. Exhale, hands to heart center. Let's do a little bit of a forward fold. We're going to first take our, bring your hands to your lap. We're going to take our right foot out. So the right heel is going to come to the floor. And then both of our hands are going to rest on top of the left thigh. So from here, use that left thigh, that left leg is your standing leg. So that's going to be your base of support. We're going to stretch the right leg. So both hands on the thigh. From here, keep the chest lifted like we did before. So chest is lifting, but we're broadening through the collarbone by bringing our shoulder blades towards each other. So towards each other in the back. Good. And then from here, keep that lift. Keep that natural curve in the spine as you lean forward over both legs. You might not have to go far. Keep that right toe pulling in towards the knee, and that heel is pressing quite strongly into the floor. So you're keeping those hamstrings active as we're stretching them. Remember, we don't want to round to get lower. You're actually going to get more of a stretch if you keep your chest moving up and forward. Another breath. And then from here, undo it. Coming up, right foot or right leg is your standing leg now. That's going to be your base of support. Left foot's going to come out long, so we're extending that left leg. Your heel is digging into the floor. I have some friends helping me film today. Your heel is digging into the floor, pull that left toe towards the knee. So we're activating quadriceps as well here. So you'll feel that kneecap lifting. And then from here, we're going to take our left hand and our right hand over that right thigh, or sorry, both hands over your right thigh. Press the left foot into the floor. And then from here, pull your chest forward through your arms as you hinge and lean forward from the hips. Good. It doesn't matter how far you go. Our target area of sensation is behind the leg. If you feel some stretch and some resistance back there, then you're doing it. Doesn't matter how far you've leaned forward. Keep your chest lifted, keep your chin pulling forward. Another breath. Good, and then from here, slowly come up. Both feet onto the mat. And we're going to do a couple of standing poses. So for this next one, we're going to come out of our chair into a pose called chair, or it's kind of like a squat. So from here, make sure that both of your feet are planted on the ground. Your toes can be slightly pointed out. That might make this a little bit easier. And then from here, I just want you to first lean forward until you can feel your weight settling into your feet. Good. And then come a little bit back. You might have to move your feet a little bit more towards you for leverage. And then again, lean forward and see if you press into your feet, you can feel that you can almost maybe lift out of the chair. If you can lift out from here, then now I want you to bring both hands to heart center. Again, pulling your chest forward, nice long chest. We're going to hinge over the legs till we can feel our center of gravity moving over the feet. And then from here, press into both feet and come up a little bit. Maybe your sit bones have left the chair. Hold, and then come back down. Good, let's try that again. Lean forward. Now as we're leaning forward, we're pressing into the feet. As you press into the feet, see if you can come out of your chair. If you can, using the strength of your legs, you can press yourself out of the chair and then come back down. One more time. Okay, again, here it is. Lean forward. Again, lifting out of the chair. Maybe here you can lift your chest a little bit more. And if you want a little bit of a harder variation, you can take your arms overhead. Another breath. And then from here, hands to heart center, straighten the legs, and come to standing. Congratulations! You've come out of your chair without using your arms. So now what we're going to do is a couple of standing poses, and we'll wrap this thing up. So I want you to take your chair. We're just going to do a couple of things here. We're going to take our chair just from behind and we're going to move it forward so that each leg is on the mat. And now take your feet wide so that you're kind of like in a straddle pose or standing wide-legged pose. Your toes are pointing forward. So in yoga, we call this Prasarita Padottanasana, or wide-legged forward fold. But we're not going to go into much of a forward fold today. But we want to make sure that our big toe and our second toe are both somewhat parallel with the front of your mat. And make sure that this is kind of challenging, right? If you can take your feet a little bit wider, do it. And now from here, we're going to turn our right toes to the top of our mat. So right toes turn out. And then both your heels here are going to be lined up with each other. So now your back heel or your left heel is going to be lined up with your right heel. From here, bend that right knee. Right knee is going to be tracking over your ankle. And then bring your left shoulder back. So we're somewhat parallel with the front of the mat. Good. Feel that. You can keep your hands on the chair, or you can bring your right hand out to the side. This is called warrior two. So we're going to look over that right hand, warrior two. If you're feeling balanced and grounded, feel free to take that left hand out as well. And again, chair's there if you lose your balance. Left hand comes out and both hands are reaching away. So feel that space in between the shoulders as you look over that right hand. Another breath. Good. And then both hands to the chair. Straighten your front leg or your right leg. Take a breath. And now for a little stretch on that right leg. So from here out, maybe even the outer hip of the left leg. So from here, we're going to turn now towards that right leg. So right knee is straight. We're turning towards that right leg. And we're going to hinge from the crease of our right hip. So chest is looking towards the new front of your mat here. We're going to hinge forward. Keep your chest pulling forward like we did earlier in our practice. Nothing's changed. Shoulder blades towards each other. Good. Once you stop hinging forward, take your right hand and bring it to the top of your right leg. It's good. We can stay here. This is triangle pose. Keep both feet nice and strong and planted into the mat. You can think about the mat like almost like a piece of paper you're trying to rip in half with your feet. So yeah, keep them moving away from each other that strongly. Good. Another breath. If you like, you can stack the shoulders. Maybe left shoulder comes over the right shoulder here. Maybe if you're feeling really balanced, you can experiment with taking that left arm up. Left arm can find the hip as well. Or left arm can go behind the back, kind of providing a little base of support there. Good. Another breath. You can look down. You can look in front of you, or you could look up. And then from there, we're going to take that hand, if you don't have it there already, back to the chair. We're going to start to hinge up, so bring shoulders back over the hips. Good. And now let's turn the toes around. Let's bring our feet back towards each other. Shake that off because we were there for quite some time. Whew. And then we're going to do the other side. So, I'm going to take the feet wide again. Toes pointing towards each other. If this time you want to do a little bit of leaning forward, you can bring the shoulder blades down the back and together. Maybe lean over the chair. Good, kind of like a little version of wide-legged forward fold. And then bring your hands back to the top of the chair. We're going to turn the left toes out. So left toes are turned out. We're checking in with our feet. We want our heels lined up with each other. And your feet are kind of wide, right? Just try it out. Try bringing your feet a little bit wider this time. And now from here, we're going to bend that left knee. So left knee's tracking over that left ankle. Good. We're turning our shoulders for here towards the chair, but again, it doesn't have to be lined up perfectly. Don't force anything. Just turn until you stop. And then take your left arm out. This is great. This is warrior two. You can have a fixed point in front of you. You can look over your left middle hand or maybe something fixed in the distance. And if you're feeling really balanced, you can take that right arm out. Taking another breath here. And then both hands back to the chair. Straighten that front leg. Now for our triangle pose. This time I prefer to start with my shoulders facing forward. So again, we're not forcing anything, we're not cranking, but I like to turn the back hip a little bit towards that left leg, turn my shoulders a little bit forward, and then hinge from that left crease. So we're hinging over that left leg. Bring your left hand to anywhere on your leg, any fixed point on your leg. And now we're going to turn our shoulders towards the chair, or turn our chest towards the chair. So again, no cranking on yourself. Both feet are nice and strongly planted into the mat. And you can look at something fixed on the floor. You can look down. You can look up. And if you're feeling really grounded and really balanced, you can reach with that top hand. And again, there's a lot of variations here. If that's not great for your shoulder, you can bring your hand to your hip. Or you can bring your arm behind you for a little added stretch in the front of that shoulder. Again, none of that is mandatory, just options. Good. And then from here, hand back to the chair. We're going to hinge back up. Turn your toes around. Walk your feet in. Shake that off. Good work. And we're going to move our chair back behind us. Take a nice seat on the chair. This was a great first day for us. Look forward to a series of these mini practices as we work our way through some chair yoga options and different time spans that you can do anywhere, whether they be at home, you can do it at work, if you work from home especially, or whenever you find a few free minutes to pay or take a little time for yourself and take a little time to move today. Good. So from here, bringing your hands to heart center. Thank you for joining me for this practice today. Namaste.